Dark Fae 120. That's what we wanted to do here. A new team. Well, not really a new team, but this is a... I switched out Armiger for Inquisitor Shamael. Put it in the team setup. You can see we have Deacon in the lead because I don't have Lysandra. If I had Lysandra, I would use Lysandra. Lysandra is the switch out for Deacon. So I have Deacon running at 279 speed. I want him fast, fast, fast. You need him fast, 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 and high accuracy. 400 accuracy. This is hard Doom Tower 120. If you can't do these these type of stats, then you really don't have any business doing hard Doom Tower 120. It's kind of mean, but I don't know. It's not really mean. It's kind of tough to get here. So nothing as far as this on round 1. Round 2, I don't want him using either of these because I want him to have these available for the boss. And then come in time compression, sweeping retribution. He's my fastest champion in this comp. Allure is almost a necessity for this because you can decrease the turn meter for Dark Fae. So you want her taking as few turns as possible. And so Allure is fantastic for this. 276 speed. Just a touch slower than Deacon. You need 100% crit rate and as much accuracy as you can for her A1 to work. 3 times at random. If on each crit, it will decrease target's turn meter. I don't want her using her A1 or her A2 or her A2 or her A3 on the first wave or the second wave. And on the third wave, I want her doing Temptation as an opener, and that's it. Never again. Because what this will do is Deacon will come in. Deacon will use time compression to lower everybody's turn meter that she steals. She'll increase your team's turn meter. He will increase, I don't know, a whole lot of weird stuff there. And then he'll place defense down on everybody. And then what will happen with Allure is Allure will come in. She'll use this first. She's got a chance of placing defense down. But what she does is she'll place a sleep if they're under decreased defense. So this is almost like a cheesy guarantee that even if the champions that Dark Fae steals from you, they will just be asleep. But I don't want her using this ever again. I want her to use her A1 as much as possible. Stag Knight, I bring Stag Knight in because he has defense down, attack down, and so attack down is great to have for Dark Fae because she does get a few turns and she will hit you hard. So attack down is great to have. But the main reason is decreased speed. You can put decreased speed on the boss. It's fantastic. It's almost a necessity as well to have decreased speed. So Stag Knight can get switched out in this. Allure can't really get switched out. You can't really switch out Allure. She's just the queen of turn meter. So Stag Knight, you can switch out Stag Knight for anybody that can place decreased speed on this boss. I would recommend somebody that can also place decreased attack. So Tomb Lord is great for this as well. Tomb Lord also places decreased speed on his A1, and he also places decreased attack on his A3. I don't know why I don't use him. I like Stag Knight. I just use Stag Knight. Stag Knight, I also have him in a shield set. So high accuracy, mediocre speed, 225 speed, 323 accuracy. This could actually probably be a little bit high, but I don't want to go crazy with it. So I have Deacon set up to use his defense down on the first wave. I have Stag Knight to set up to use defense down on the second wave. So I don't want Stag Knight using defense down on the first wave. And then the third round, I want him opening with Spot Quarry. Because what he'll do is Allure will do her sleep thing. And if this isn't set up, he will do Huntmaster and he will potentially wake everybody up. I don't want that to happen. So I have him open with his A1. It may not seem like a little thing, but I've had a couple of runs fail because he would do his Huntmaster ability, attack everybody, wake them all up. So I bring in Septimus because Septimus does a Shatovsky full of damage. Yes, everybody knows Septimus. If you don't know Septimus, Septimus has got this A1. Grant an extra turn and reset the cooldown of Holy Sword if the target's killed. I mainly use him for the wave clear because it grants an extra turn, and this is basically like a guarantee where the waves will just die. So defense down from Deacon on the first wave, Septimus kills everybody. Defense down from Stagnite on the second wave, Septimus comes in and kills everybody. And then you have a Holy Sword, which is ignores shield block damage, doesn't matter. But enemy max HP, this hits really hard. This ability on the way this boss works is you can't do more than 10% of the boss's max HP. So, but with this ability and the way I have him built, 100% of the time he will do 10% of that boss's max HP. So what do we have here? 210 speed, 5600 attack, 275 crit damage. Maxed crit rate, of course. You don't need accuracy or resist for this build. I have him in some really good gear. I think he's also in Savage as well. So he ignores some defense. He can hit really hard. There you go. And now I switched out. So the difference between this video and the last video was I switched out Armiger for Inquisitor Shamael. You can see there he is right there. What does Inquisitor Shamael bring to this fight? This is what he brings to this fight. Whenever an ally receives a fear or a true fear from an enemy, the skill will instantly remove the debuff. So what happens is when Dark Fae steals your team, when she either steals your team or she steals a individual from your team, she will place true fear on the other 4 champions. And that was causing, obviously, 50-50 shot to lose a turn, basically. It was causing a lot of RNG in the runs. So I bring in Inquisitor Shamael to take that RNG aspect out of the run. So I no longer have the true fears to worry about. And I have Shamael built for damage as well. 4,000 attack, 220 speed. You know, you want low 220s, low 200s, mid 200s for your champions here. He doesn't need accuracy, so I just built him 100 crit, 232 crit damage. I think he's also in Savage as well. Could be, could not be. I don't know. The difference when I bring in Shamael for Armiger is the boss gets a few more turns. I think the boss, when I have Armiger in here, the boss would get like 2 to 3 turns overall in the fight. If everything goes well and I don't get the true fear nonsense happening. With Inquisitor Shamael, the boss gets about 6 or 7 turns. There is absolutely no true fear RNG though. So that's the way I go. Nothing set up for Shamael. Obviously, Septimus can be replaced by anybody who can help you clear the waves and then do some damage to the boss. Inquisitor Shamael can be replaced by anybody who can help you do damage to the boss. I bring in Shamael obviously just for the passive. You can bring in Herndig. You can bring in any nuker for Septimus. Any nuker, to be honest. I just like Septimus. He's fun. If you have a Vizix, Vizix is really good for this. I don't have a Vizix anymore. I fed her to my Lydia. So it is what it is. You're going to do what you can. All right. Let's get on to the run. And there's a few points of RNG in this run, but not as many as there can be or has been in the past. So taking out the waves is pretty straightforward. The only one that gives us any trouble on either of the waves is the Siphi. She's the only one that my Septimus cannot one-shot. Which really is not that big of a deal. So boom, there we go. Now she's down. All right, so now what'll happen is Deacon will not use his A3 or his A2. Stagnite comes in, puts the defense down there. We get defense down on everybody except for this guy. That's not ideal. And that means we didn't one-shot him. That's okay. He's down anyway. So I'm going to turn off the auto just for a second here. Now we can see she got our team here. She's got Perfect Veil on herself, so we can't target her. So Deacon is going to auto into his A3. And then he's going to auto into his A2. And now Shamael's got this weird thing where he counterattacks whenever you place a debuff on anybody on the team. So that's fine. That counterattack doesn't really do too much damage, so we don't have to worry too much about that. So now we auto. And as you can see, because Allure is magic affinity, this is the 1 point of RNG in this battle. This is literally the only point of... Well, no, there's 2 points of RNG. This is the first one. This is the most common one, where we don't get the defense down on the Allure, and she doesn't die. So then we go with the Allure, does her A2, and now she got the sleep off. So now everybody's asleep here except for Shamael, which is really not that big of a deal. So Stagnite will come in. Now what'll happen is if I didn't have it set up, Stagnite would come in potentially with his A2. If he had it available, he would come in right with this. And I just turned that RNG factor off. by making him open with his A1. So he should A1 Shamail down. Now Shamail should A1 down, I don't know who. Deacon. And then Septimus comes in. And there's the fail right there. That's the one fail. When Septimus gets a weak hit on the Allure. So we have to restart this. Okay, so this is what we're going to try to do. We're going to try to help out. We're going to try to help this out here. Deacon gets the thing up. Allure gets it. Now, because Septimus can weak hit Allure, what I want to do here is Allure will do her A2, and she'll do this sleep on everybody. Got it up on everybody. And then there you go. Now we just kill everybody here, and then we get into it. Boom. There we go. There goes the True Fear. So now, because I use Shamail, no more True Fear nonsense. They'll go in, they'll kill Septimus, and we'll be good. If we're lucky, she does exactly what she just did right there, where she actually multi-targets because her A1 is a random hit. So what we want to do is we want to get decreased speed up on the boss as soon as possible. There's one thing I did not mention in the team comp. Deacon, on top of doing the turn meter and the defense down on the AoE, his A1 also places Leech. That is another big thing for this team comp. Is because we have Leech up, our champions will heal themselves. So we can take a couple more hits from her, from Dark Fae. So if we didn't have Leech, Allure would die, Septimus would die. And we would have another problem. But because Deacon has got Leech, fantastic. So, and we got Giant Slayer up on Allure, so we get extra heals from Giant Slayer. Keep that turn meter down. And that's pretty much it. So we have the 4 big debuffs that we want on this boss. We have Leech, defense down, speed down, and attack down. And we usually get about anywhere from 2.5 to 3 attacks every turn the boss gets. So not too bad. Not too bad. Allure and Deacon do a really good job of keeping the turn meter down, getting as many attacks as we possibly can, and giving us the opportunity. Honestly, these guys, Deacon and Allure, are here. One of the benefits of that is that they get the opportunity to get more life back. So now the boss doesn't have Perfect Veil. If you want to cut out the last section of RNG, this is the section of RNG, the second section of RNG. Because the boss doesn't have a Perfect Veil here, you can target the boss. And what will happen is sometimes your champions are freaking stupid and they'll target the boss instead of the Septimus or whoever you use. You know, I've tried with Hermdig, I've tried with Ninja, whoever you want to use for your DPS. And then this guy will get a turn and he'll kill you. So what I like to do on auto is I like to click on this champion, so we target this champion. That way we kill the champion, we get our whoever they stole back as quick as possible. We're good to go. Alright, so with this specific team setup, these 4 buffs here are essential. Essential. Because this boss, she hits us hard. She doesn't hit us as hard with decreased attack. But we also have the Leech up, which actually acts as like a lifesteal. 18% heals. So yeah, that's pretty much this boss in a nutshell. The potential replacements you have are Lysandra. I mean, if you really want to go crazy, you can take out you can take Shamail out. You could put a second Allure in. A second Allure would work as well. Stag Knight is not necessarily necessary for this, but I love Stag Knight, and he's got a use in this fight, the way that I like to run this fight. There's plenty of other ways. You could probably take Stag Knight out and put in another Allure, have 2 Allures. Let's say you have Lysandra, Allure, DPS, DPS. The boss will probably never get a turn with the 2 Allures and Lysandra. The boss will probably never get a turn. In which case you don't need Leech. In which case you don't need Tack Down. So, anyway, this is my team. I love this. This is the best boss to farm, at least in my opinion, because you get the lethal gear. The Fae Spheres go for lethal gear. And what is lethal gear? Lethal is Savage with 10% crit rate. There you go. That's the team. That's the comp. I hope everybody enjoys it. I hope that you can find help if you need it. The stats are the hard part to get to, and what are you going to do? There's nothing you can do. Sorry. If you can't get to the stats, you probably shouldn't be getting there, because that boss is actually easier than the waves to get to the boss. So, alright, that's it. Peace out.